food is where the heart is. Like, like if you cook food for family, you show your heart, your love to your family.
Hi, I'm Ashley Cheney, and this is the Dear Food Podcast. Have you ever noticed how it seems like pretty much everyone likes to talk about food? Yeah, I've noticed that too. And it seems like the best way to get to know someone is to actually ask them about food. Whether that's on the red carpet, like I've had the chance to do, or whether that's just talking to someone in line at the grocery store. Some of the easiest and most illuminating conversations I've ever had have been about food. So this podcast is actually that. Really just connecting people through the stories that we tell about food. We'll use food to take us back to the places that we have remembered so fondly, whether that place is just a really special time in your life, or whether that's actually using a memory to transport us around the world. Food will take us there and make us feel all kinds of warm and fuzzy along the way. So let's dig in. Hey everyone, and welcome back. How's everybody doing? It is really weird times out here in California. There's a bunch of wildfires and something with the way the air is mixing. I don't know, but the outside air looks kind of orange and apocalyptic, and it's weird times out there. So more than ever, I always turn to food. I always turn to the kitchen. I've been experimenting a lot in my own kitchen these days. You guys, victory for me. I learned to do the grill all by myself. I could not be more tickled. I know that sounds like really basic, but I'd never done it before. This week, my boyfriend is out of town, so I had to do it all by myself, and I did it. So, hey, I'm really, really excited. I'll take the victories where I can get them. Let's talk about this week's episode, shall we? I'm really, really happy to have on a dear friend of mine, a former boss. In fact, I grabbed Elaine Truong from Mandarin Gourmet in San Luis Obispo. Some of you may or may not know, but when I first moved out to California as a wee lass, I worked at a Chinese restaurant for about 4 years, kind of working my way through college. It was great. It was such a great time in my life for many reasons, but I made lifelong lasting friendships at that restaurant, both with the owners and then the employees that worked there alongside me. And I think anybody who's ever worked in a restaurant can probably relate to that, how quickly you become a family. What's unique about Mandarin Gourmet, though, is that even I think the customers, there were so many regular customers, they certainly feel that same sense of family and connection. It's very unique to Mandarin Gourmet, and I'm so happy to have been a part of it. And I'm really excited for today's show because Elaine gets to talk with us not just about Mandarin Gourmet and the foods they serve there, but about the foods from her childhood. And what she did is sort of the whole point of this podcast. She really took me to the streets of Hong Kong with her stories. So I'm really excited for you all to get to hear her stories as well and let your mind kind of drift away to Hong Kong with her on these stories. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, everybody, I'm so excited to have Elaine Truong from Mandarin Gourmet, my former boss and friend for life. I'm so happy to have you here, Elaine. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Okay. So for the listeners who don't know, about you, I've kind of let everybody know that you own a Chinese restaurant in San Luis Obispo. But can you tell us a little bit about what your life looks like today? You're a mom of 2 boys. And you have a side bakery as well, right? Tell me what you do for a living.
Oh, okay. I own a Chinese restaurant named Mandarin Gourmet. I own it. My husband and I own it since 1992. I think about 28 years from now, already is Chinese food and is cooked from scratch. Everything we cook to serve. Basically, it's a place to bring family together because it's a family restaurant. So
well, I think it's a testament not just to the restaurant itself and the community that you've built around it, but also, I mean, the food itself is. You've been voted number 1 by the local newspaper, New Times, many years running. It is hands down, not just because I work there, the best Chinese food in the United States that I've ever had. I've never been to China, so I can't speak to actually having Chinese food from China, but it's the best Chinese food ever. I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate the help when you were here staying with me. And then I enjoy the restaurant because all the people who works here, we are really feel a good friendship. Everyone will hang out after work, and then we call each other and we comfort each other when, sick or, need to leave. And it's just like a family.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into our first little segment of the day, which is, of course, the first taste. So I start every episode of the podcast by asking our guest, what's the first food you ever remember tasting?
Okay, the first food I remember I'm tasting, it was a breakfast drink that my mom make every morning. What she made was actually, when I was growing up, we don't get fresh milk. So my mom will mix condensed milk and hot water, and then throw in a couple teaspoons of oatmeal, and it's like a breakfast drink in the morning. She served the drink every morning. I remember it very much because I hate it.
It sounds
she
kind of
gave
like
it's supposed delicious, right? The way I describe it is delicious, but just the way she serve it every day, every morning, like nonstop,
you got sick of it.
Yeah, I got sick of it. From ever since now, I don't eat oatmeal.
I have foods like that.
I just can't. Yeah, I can't just look at oatmeal. Everybody say, "Oh, they're delicious," but to me, no.
Well, that's so let's dive into that a little bit. You said when you were growing up. First of all, tell everybody, where did you grow up?
I born in Hong Kong. Hong Kong at that time it was British colony, so we have a lot of influence, with British, England style in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So we, yeah, it's kind of mixed, Asian and Western style together. So we learn English in school.
Mm-hmm.
We speak Chinese when we're home. So it's a fun place to grow up with.
Yeah.
And then of course, because Hong Kong is, as a lot of people know, Hong Kong is a small place, and a lot of people live in a small island. So we live in an apartment which is very tall apartment. Which we were like in a little space which have a kitchen area, just like the very small. So we don't normally cook at home. We usually just go out eat.
Really?
Yeah. So because the kitchen is small like your bathroom, what I mean?
That's my kitchen right now. It's like that size.
so it's just not convenient. And then we all work busy, and then we and then a lot of restaurants out there available.
Yeah.
So that's why in Hong Kong we always have good food and cheap and good and delicious because everyone go out eat, and it's just it's our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go out eat. It's
Yeah. Oh boy, I think I should move to Hong Kong. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's like they have a lot of good food, very fresh and delicious and very inexpensive, and
Yeah. So if you didn't cook a lot growing up, did you see like your mom? I know you said she was the one that made you this breakfast drink in the morning, but did she do any cooking at all, or kind of how did you learn how to cook?
My mom is she's a housewife and she cooks meal. She cooks a lot when we were growing up. She still cook family meal like lunch, dinner. I mean, breakfast, lunch, we don't cook much, but dinner time she will have full table of food. But it's something simple like scrambled egg with tomatoes, things like that.
How did you come to be so involved in the cooking world? Was that through meeting Eric, or what's your journey from not really learning about cooking very much to owning a restaurant?
Because I never thought of I would be doing business related to food because I never cooked when I was growing up. I start cooking from when I meet Eric, my husband. He is a talented cook.
Mm-hmm, yes,
He can he did not go to any special training, but he can go out restaurant, eat something. He can go home and cook the same.
Oh, that's like my dream. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, he can go out. His taste bud is very sensitive. He can taste anything in the food. So he go out, eat something. He say, I like it. Let me go home, cook it. And then he will make it happen the first time. Or
Wow.
even better. Like one time he was, we were in LA. My son, Christopher, he was in college. At that time, this was the trend, like fried chicken and waffle. So he said, Chris said, Mom, this is a good restaurant. Everybody like it. So he took us there, and then we ate, and we ate a fried chicken. And Eric said, not good. I can be better. My fried chicken is not Chinese food, right? So he go home, he think about it all the time. Oh, I can make better, and then he make it. I don't know. You see on the Facebook page, he make a big tray of fried chicken, and then everyone eating it, and then the employee will enjoy it a lot. So it was so good.
I think I've had his fried chicken, actually. I think he's brought it into the restaurant before, or maybe even made it at the restaurant, like in the kitchen at the restaurant.
Yeah, he make it at the restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've had that. That's so funny that he recreated it. Well, I mean, it's kind of the perfect time then to jump over to our food of the day, which is Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
Let's first answer the question, what do you consider Chinese food? Is there a difference between obviously American Chinese food and traditional Chinese food?
Chinese food, okay. Chinese food, because China is so big. Chinese food, we kind of divide it in different dialect, in a
Like
different area.
provinces?
We eat different. I think just like America, the same, south side, north side, we all eat different. I think we have the same common is we eat with family. So we will have, and our style is we eat rice or noodles and then have all the different dishes in front of you. And we all share as a family. And then we use chopstick to eat. So we use chopstick to pick the, food and put it on your bowl and eat it with rice, one piece at a time. So this is basically how Chinese food, the main structure of the Chinese food. So of course, different area we will cook it different.
So that's like Mandarin. Like Mandarin is I'm going to say this right, but is it a province of China? Is that the right word? Like there's Sichuan. Is that kind of what you mean by like different styles of Chinese food?
Yeah, we have north side like Shanghai, like Beijing, Szechuan. The Szechuan style, Hunan style, and then I'm from Canton. My parents from Canton. So and Hong Kong is part of Canton area.
Okay.
So we are Cantonese. So I grew up eat different than whatever people from the north side. Like in Canton area, because everything is the weather is beautiful. We have winter, we have summer, we have spring. So we can grow rice, we can grow vegetable, we can grow fruit. And we are around the ocean, so we have fresh seafood. So we eat everything fresh.
Yeah.
Because everything is fresh, we don't need too much seasoning.
Yeah.
So we like it fresh and cooked and, little seasoning. We eat the original flavor.
Yum.
So a lot of Cantonese food is very light in seasoning. And then we have rice. We eat mostly rice because we grow rice. But in people, they from north side, like, Great Wall area, Beijing, Shanghai, north side, the weather is more cold, more windy, and they can grow rice.
Oh, I didn't
So
know that.
they will, yeah, because if they eat rice, they will, import from the
South.
south side or So they will more eat noodles, eat bread, mantou, they call, the white bread. Like the white bread served with Peking duck.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like a fluffy pancake looking type thing.
Fluffing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they eat more, potato, because potato, they grow potato. Yeah. So, because the ingredient, what they can grow over there, so they eat a little different. They like noodles. They don't eat rice because I have people, from, Shanghai, Beijing area, they only eat noodles.
Yeah.
Because they can, use flour, make noodles, make a lot of potato pancake, all that stuff.
Did you eat?
And
Did you eat any of the northern style foods growing up? Like, did you have? Because or was it the same sort of thing? It wasn't as easy to get those types of food in the South, or
well, when I growing up, because I was still young, so we kind of I eat mostly street food.
street food? Yes.
We can talk about it later. It's so amazing. We have like restaurant like Shanghai restaurant. We have Szechuan restaurant, Hunan restaurant. They serve that kind of food.
Yeah, yeah.
But because my mom don't cook that kind of food, so I don't usually eat those. And at least we go to those restaurants, or someone have a big birthday and invite all the relative, and like xiao long bao, they're very famous, popular over there.
Ooh, xiaolong bao, yum.
Yeah. So, like either their specialty, their food, we love it. We enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, so that's you said we'll talk about it later, but I want to talk about it now. You mentioned you used to eat a lot of street food growing up. What were some of your favorite street foods, and what were they?
Okay, when I was growing up, because I remember I told you we live in a tall apartment, all the neighbor, we have a lot of neighbor around us. When the school time, we walk to school, usually like 30 minutes walk.
Wow.
And
that's not a quick walk.
We don't have parents take us to school.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So we walk to school, but it's in a neighborhood that a lot of tall building, and then when the school time, like all the students will go to school at the same time. So the whole street is full of students.
Oh, wow.
Like whole street full of students. And in Hong Kong, we wear uniform.
Mm-hmm.
The student wear uniform, like Harry Potter.
Yeah, they're very fashionable.
Yeah. We wear tie, like that. So you see all the students. You see because we all wear uniform. You all know we're students. So we wear. We go to school together. You will meet all your neighbor, all to go to school at the same time. Because every day you go to the time you go to school is your neighbor. So we will meet neighbor, and then we talking, we hang out while walking to the school. It's like 30 minutes walk. So usually I have my mom breakfast drink.
your beloved breakfast drink.
Yeah, and then I will there are a lot of street food on the side, and they will be available for us, to buy. So you can usually I will buy what I have allowance in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
If I have 50 cents, what do I get for 50 cents? So I get what I want.
Like, what could you get for 50 cents? What would something like that be?
At that time I like the egg waffle. Do you remember egg waffle? Do you know
egg waffle?
Egg waffle. Now they serve it on ice cream.
Oh,
like in New York.
I think maybe it's kind of similar to like a Belgian waffle for us. Is it fluffy?
Yeah. But they make it egg shape in a big waffle pan. The mold is like an egg shape. You can take it out.
Is it hollow on the inside, or is it full of?
It's supposed hollow.
Oh, cool.
But a lot of people don't make it right, so it's supposed crunchy outside, very soft and soft and mushy in the middle.
Yum. A little bit sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's like egg waffle, but it's crunchy outside, and when it just they will cook the egg waffle on the street. You buy when it fresh cooked, so it's very, very. It smells very good, and then it's sweet and crunchy and yummy.
Yeah.
And sometimes, because we have only 50 cents, we don't buy the whole thing. We will buy 10 pieces egg waffle piece. We buy little because we want to eat a little bit here, a little bit there. We don't eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of street food. They make little beef bao, fresh meat like pastica in the restaurant, but it's beef. But when they just come out, just like our pastica, you will see, cook it off from the glitter and then, serve it. You eat it right away because they keep cooking,
Oh, yum.
constantly cooking on the street. So you buy what when it's come out.
Oh,
You can wait there and wait for it to come out.
oh,
It's so good. Just like how pastica come out,
oh.
the same.
Yeah, that's
So yummy.
if any of our listeners haven't been to Mandarin Gourmet or any Chinese restaurant that serves pot stickers, but I defer to Mandarin because you guys do it right. When I was a server, it was like we always had to tell people, okay, if you're going to order the pot stickers, you have to know they're going to take about 15 to 20 minutes because they're fresh and they come out,
Mm-hmm.
perfect, and they're
Mm-hmm.
so good. So there is a timing element to it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just like drooling over the thought of walking down the street and getting fresh pot stickers. Oh, so yummy.
Yeah. And then I will also buy youtiao. Youtiao, like a breaststeak, is fried.
Mm.
It's the two little long stick breaststick. They stick
Oh,
together.
I've never heard of that. Like an Italian
Youtiao.
yotail. Is it like a crunchy or soft, like a soft breadstick or a crunchy Italian breadstick?
It's not really bread, but it's hollow inside. It's fried.
Okay.
It's not baked. It's fried. They fry in oil. Um,
Is that like Pocky?
uh,
Like Pocky? Do you know what Pocky is? Yeah,
Paki.
Jared,
What is
your youngest son, Jared used to eat
Oh,
Pocky all the time.
no, those are cracker.
Oh, okay.
Youtiao is something. It's like we call Chinese breast stick, but it's not really breast stick. It's something very more thinner, more delicate
Oh, okay.
because it's inside. When after fry, it's very hollow inside,
Mhm.
and then it's crunchy on the outside, but it's so good. I can't describe it.
Yeah, I'm like, tell me more. It sounds so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a big question because, as you said, there's so many different regions of China and therefore different types of Chinese
Mhm.
food. But do
Mhm.
you have a favorite Chinese food? A favorite dish, like a favorite dish from Chinese food?
I like everything.
Me too.
Usually, it's what I eat for the day. Is depends what I'm craving, but I like everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, I like. I don't actually only eat Chinese food. I like all around the world. All the food around the world. I just very love food. I love to try new food and I experience, new stuff and I eat anything. A lot of Chinese cooking, they involve like chicken feet,
Oh, yeah.
all that, something that American people won't eat.
I don't love chicken feet. I tried them, but I don't love them.
Because I eat those stuff when I'm growing up, so I would love to try everything. I'm not afraid. We eat fish
Yeah.
with, the whole fish with head and tail and bone inside. Some people don't eat it that way. So we eat food like the original, the really, we don't waste food, and we eat, when we, you know, eat a chicken, we eat the feet, we eat the,
Wings, the
yeah,
little tushy, the
wings, the
neck. Yeah.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned fish, eating the whole fish, and I'll never forget the first time I ate fish eyeballs was at the restaurant at at the end of every shift, like at the end of the night. Everybody, all the employees get together for family meal. For
Mm-hmm,
that's
mm-hmm.
how you feed the employees.
Yes.
And sometimes, you can request dishes off the menu, or what I love is when the chefs make something up, themselves or whatever they want to make. And it was Eric one time that made a fried fish of some kind, a or some, I don't know if it was fried, but it was prepared somehow that you could eat the eyeballs. And I remember everybody sitting around the table and Eric challenging me, okay, eat the eyeball. And I was like, no, 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 I don't want, I can't do that. And I eventually did, and I know it sounds weird, but they're good. The eyeballs are good, and the heads of shrimp too are like so creamy.
Yeah, there's a piece of cheat meat, it's good too. Like on the fish head,
Yeah,
and yeah, the eyeball and then the cheek is the best part.
I love it. I know a lot of Americans particularly kind of get squeamish around some of those foods. I think it's just because we're not used to that's just not what we're, kind of what we grew up with. But what Is there anything like that in American food? I mean, now you've been here for so long. I mean, you are American, but I mean, when you first came to the States,
Mm-hmm.
was there anything that shocked you about either the culture or the food?
Shot me. Let me see.
Like, I know I have some friends that come from other countries and they're like, what is with mayonnaise? Why do you have mayonnaise in everything? I love mayonnaise and everything, but
Actually, because when I'm growing up in Hong Kong, I already know all the Western food. To me, it's not surprise. I already know what's going on. And but to me, I will not eat hamburger.
oh,
I don't mean not hamburger. I don't eat meat already ground and
yeah,
mixed because I don't know because I get it from Eric because Eric like everything from scratch. He will not cook anything with the ingredient. He doesn't know what's inside. So if I want to eat hamburger, I will make my own meat.
oh my
So I
gosh.
know I know what kind of cut of meat inside the meat.
Yeah,
In the beef patty. If I have a choice, go out eat beef, I would rather eat steak
steak.
because I know it's a piece of meat.
Yeah,
What kind of cut I'm eating. Um, for hamburger, because if we go out the restaurant, you order hamburger, you really don't know what's inside the patty,
exactly.
and I just you know I that's the only thing I would not or a hot dog.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's in a hot dog. Well, I still eat once a while, but
Yeah.
I will not craving for hot dog. And
Yeah. I actually learned very unfortunately at a Dodger baseball game that I am allergic, like violently allergic to hot dogs. I got
oh
so I mean, it's a blessing and a curse because I don't really like the idea of what goes in a hot dog. I mean, I know they're iconic and sometimes they taste really good, but yeah, I was at a baseball game with my boyfriend and his family, and this is when we had like just started dating, so I was still trying to impress his mom. And I got so sick at the baseball game within 15 minutes of eating the hot dog. So I don't eat
oh,
them anymore.
just like my mom breakfast drink.
Exactly, exactly. When you take your beef and you said you grind it up,
hmm
do you have a grinder at your house or do you have the butcher grind it for you?
Actually, I chop it
Oh,
myself.
really?
Yeah. We use we use the Chinese knife. It's like a rectangle. Like how to call it, cleaver.
Oh,
Look
yeah, yeah,
like
cleaver.
cleaver.
Yeah.
And then, well, our traditional to make ground meat is chop with knife, and we can use two knife and do that kind of chop will go faster.
Oh, yeah.
So that is the traditional way to make ground meat. But if I do it at home, I just need a small portion, and I don't bother use the ground meat
That
machine.
is so
But
cool.
hand chop is much better. The texture is better. Sometimes yeah, I also make meatball.
Ooh,
Like
yum.
when the kids spaghetti meatball, I also hand chop the meatball. So my kid prefer my homemade
Of
meatball.
course they
Then
do. Yeah.
then you buy it from the frozen
Who wouldn't want a hand
section.
chopped meatball? Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I do all my and any gravy I chop it myself.
Your kids are very lucky because obviously two incredibly skilled chefs growing up with two incredibly and access to a restaurant anytime they want. But what kind of stuff do you make when you're cooking at home? Like outside of the restaurant, what kind of foods do you make?
I have a side dish called smashed cucumber. Eric likes it a lot.
Ooh, what's that?
It's you buy a cucumber, you cut in pieces, but the original recipe is smashed, like you smash with a knife.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and then you seasoning with little vinegar, sugar, soy sauce, sesame oil, and little chili paste, little chopped garlic, and
Oh,
just
yum.
eat something fresh and something on the side. And
Yum.
you can to me it's healthy, delicious, easy to fix,
Mhm.
and so it's something on the side that Eric likes it.
Yum. I think I've had something similar. There's a restaurant called Din Tai Fung. Have you been to Din Tai Fung?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I heard that. I never been there.
Okay, yeah. They have a cucumber appetizer, which sounds like it has the same elements, so maybe the same kind of flavor profile, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
smashed. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can post a picture the next time you make the smashed cucumber because that sounds really great.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's something quick and easy. You can just flow it in 5-10 minutes and put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
It's nice to serve cold. So when the meal ready, you pull it out. So very quick and easy.
Yum. Yeah, that sounds so good. Yeah, summertime especially, I crave fresh things. I don't want to be cooking hot. I like cold stuff in the summer for sure.
Uh huh.
Well, we can't not talk about some of the other stuff that you're making in the kitchen, which is that I think above and beyond, you are one of the best bakers I've ever seen. I mean, you started a company. Tell us about your cupcake company, just because.
Thank you,
Mhm.
thank you, thank you for mentioning it. Actually, I don't really want to start a bakery or start something like that. Actually, I was my whole life, because as I told you, I try not to cook Chinese in front of Eric. So I and then with Eric always, compliment my cooking. So I need to find a way to stop him talking. so so because Chinese cooking, we don't bake a lot for Chinese, style cooking. We don't bake a lot. So I kind of in interesting in baking because I like the idea. Close the oven. I don't need to worry. I do my other thing,
Mhm.
and easy to for cleanup. I like the idea. So I I bake quite a lot when the kid growing up. I will bake muffin in the morning, for the
Mm.
kid. I feel cold cereal is too cold for winter. I will, bake muffin, have something warm for the kid when they go to school. I I just bake and nobody say anything. So they just say, "Oh, thanks, mom," and then they eat and walk away. And Eric too.
Oh.
And I don't know how good I bake, but I just keep doing it for years and years, and then until one day, I feel like the kitchen people, they are working very hard. They're very nice to me, so I want to bake them something, to appreciate, their hard work. So I bake them some cupcake or muffin. I forgot. So I bring it to the kitchen. They all eat. They say, "Oh, so good, very good, very good." Oh, yeah, thank you. They're very happy. Their face so happy. I go, wow. My family never give me that kind of smile and say thank you. So, so I go, okay, maybe I can do it to the customer. I have a lot of regular customer coming. We've been here so long.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a lot of regular customer. They come in a certain day, every week. So I know what day they coming. So I make the cupcake and I serve the customer, because Chinese restaurant, we really don't have a lot of
Dessert.
dessert menu,
Yeah.
dessert option for customers. So all we serve is fortune cookie or almond cookie. So I bring them cupcake, but usually the older customer, because we have a lot of older folks, they like to come in all the time.
Yeah.
So I serve them the cupcake. They go, "Oh, so delicious. Oh, I love it." And blah, 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 I go, "Really?" And then I have little confidence. And
Yeah.
then, and then, and then they all like it. And then they start order cake from me. They say, "Oh, my grandson's birthday next week. Can you make him a cake?" It just started from that. I'm not expecting, to start a business like that. But I thought, and then at that time, my kid already, older. They're teenager age. I don't need care them too much. So I kind of want to brought back my something I love to do,
Yeah.
because I used to love drawing. I love, crafting, stuff like that.
You're so artistic. Yeah, it shows in your cake designs and your cupcake designs. I mean, they are truly works of art. I'm so glad people are finally appreciating. Sometimes we don't appreciate our direct family members, but thank goodness you are getting the
Yeah.
appreciation you deserve.
Yeah, yeah, because when family people, they cook every day, you just say, "Oh, thank you," and then they put the dish on the sink. They not really, show too much, how much they enjoy it, and they love it. And but other people, they do. So with that, encouragement, I just do more cake design, And then most of my customers, because they know how, my baked good taste, they never request anything. They say, oh, do what you want. They always say, oh, I just want chocolate cake. Oh, it's my son's birthday. Do what you want. So they give me room to, have my creation.
They trust you because you just can't make anything. I've never had anything that you've made that's not been delicious. So of course that whatever your creativity can cook up. I mean they are, and everybody's so happy with what they get. Your cakes. How did you teach yourself how to do the designs and the
Actually, I took at that time Michael, they have a class, cake decoration class.
the craft store, Michael's?
Michael have a classroom. They have cake decoration class. So I took the class with my friend because my friend want to learn too. So okay, let's go together. So we learn those are the basic stuff.
You could teach that class now. You could go back and teach it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yes, I'm serious.
So we learn how to pipe buttercream flour, how to frost a cake, how to deal with fondant, all that stuff. Those are all basic stuff. I learned it. I think for myself, I look at something, I can figure out how to make it happen.
Wow.
A lot of people they ask me, they want to order cake from me. They say, "What flavor do you do?" And I go, "I can do anything. Just tell me what you want. I can figure it out." I got it right the first time. So I can like they will say oh I want a carrot cake. Okay, and then that's what I do. I look up carrot cake recipe. I look at everybody recipe. I can like plus and minus and become my recipe. And
Wow.
usually I do it good the first time.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. What are the chances that two chefs with this incredible ability to just see something and make it happen or taste something and recreate it perfectly?
Yeah. He teach me how to, taste food, how
Mm.
to think, how to make it happen, how to, um, recreate a new recipe. I learned a lot from him.
So it's teachable. It's not like, oh, you're born with a certain palate and you can either taste it or you can't. You can actually learn those skills for how to taste something in a dish or how to
I
create.
think like how you pay attention,
Yeah.
when you eat and when, you look at things. Well, because the job too, because I'm in a restaurant, serving, area, we always, you walk around the restaurant, you know what customer need, right?
Yeah.
So when they need chopstick, they need hot sauce, they need fill up water, they waiting for the bill, the crying baby, they need attention. You know all that. So I think the job, the restaurant business, they teach me how to pay close attention. So when I eating something, I automatically think, oh, what's in it?
Yeah.
If I eat a piece of cake, I will, oh, this cake made with all-purpose flour or cake flour.
You can
You
taste the
know.
difference?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my
I,
gosh. Can you like try to explain the difference that you taste between all purpose and cake flour?
all-purpose flour more dense. Cake flour cake usually more tender, more softer. The And usually Asian people like it that way. We like soft. We don't like heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we like whipped cream. We like cake flours.
Instead of like frosting, whipped cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one tool you suggest for that you use the most in baking or in your kitchen in general that you think everybody, particularly if they're baking, should have in their kitchen?
I think we should have a scale. We should have the measurement cup. We should have something really sturdy, easy to use. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all the measurement stuff, we need to have it.
Yeah, baking science. Like you can't really be too flexible with baking because it's chemical reactions happening, and that's what makes baking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, for anybody that is wanting to see some of the cakes that Elaine has been talking about that we've been raving about, you can check out her website for Just Because Cupcakes. And are you on Facebook?
You can look up my cake with Just Because Cupcake. I have a page on Facebook and Instagram. I think just because Cupcake SLO on Facebook, Instagram is just because cupcakes. The reason I use just because I don't mean to do it. I just do it, and I bake when I have time. So I don't have okay Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have cake. I bake. What I have in the house, and I bring it when unexpectedly,
Yeah.
and people don't know. Oh, why I have cake? Oh, just because I think of you. Just because I have free time home. This afternoon.
So you can see the pictures there, but you are not a necessarily just a baker for hire. Everything that you do comes from the heart. I love that so much.
My husband think I'm over decorate my cakes.
No, no such thing.
But I do everything from love. I think compared to outside bakery, it is this is really it's like a wild cake. It's
Oh, they're so wow. Yeah, they're perfect. Well, all of your foods are. Okay, we are just about out of time for today's episode. Before we let you go, I want to ask you the same question we ask our guests every episode. So here it is. If you could have anything in the world for dinner tonight, it could be anywhere in the world with any person living or dead. What would you have for dinner tonight?
I would like to have fresh seafood for dinner tonight. In my heart, seafood is my favorite food, but it's not something seafood like come out from the market in a frozen aisle. It's seafood from the ocean, fresh, and eat right away after catch it. And that is the most delicious food in my life.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. Oh, wonderful. What a great night. Well, Elaine, thank you so, so much for sharing all these stories with us about growing up and your restaurant and your cupcake, we'll say cupcake hobby.
Yeah.
I wish we could talk for all the time in the world. I love just talking with you, and I've always loved my time and my connection to Mandarin Gourmet and all the wonderful people that have passed through that place. It's the most special place in the world to me to this day. So thank you so much.
Yeah. I love to talk to you. I never talk like this long for food.
All right, everybody, that is our show today. And yes, that is what usually happens here on Dear Food. We talk for much longer than we ever thought we could about foods that we love and our darling memories associated with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget, if you want to hear your voice on the show, give us a call at 626-709-6551 or email us at dearfoodpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay tuned for a super special episode next week. You aren't going to want to miss it, especially if you love chocolate. We'll see you right back here for the next episode.